everyone, thank you for joining me. If you have clicked on this video, you might be wondering, what the heck is a starving artist tag? This is a collaboration with some wonderful artists on YouTube, Catherine, Happy, Katie, Tina, and Miranda. So we've put together some of the most frequently asked questions that we receive from our followers, and also some of the questions that we personally want to know about each other and other artists. Kind of like a tell-all art tag for artists. So I have a list of 20 questions. I'm going to leave links to their videos in the description so you guys can check out theirs as well. Question number 1. What's your favorite experience as an artist? I guess it's not like one particular experience, but it's when I get to meet you guys. It doesn't happen a lot. In fact, it happens very, very, very rarely. So it's really special to me when it does. What's your least favorite experience as an artist? What are your dreams and goals for your art? I want to explore more fantasy, ethereal type of themes. Obviously, I want to keep doing realism, and I'm going to keep pushing my realism. But I also want to paint stuff that doesn't exist. Like, you see an image, a painting, and you think, wow, that's never existed before and it never will. This is not humanly possible to see someone in this way. And so that's kind of what I want to focus on more. What's your favorite medium and why? As far as like art mediums go, like general art mediums, definitely oil paint. I'm hopelessly obsessed with oils and I love it so much, and it is hands down my favorite medium, my favorite process as far as oil painting mediums go, because I guess there's like two meanings of medium. It's like, what medium do you like to work in, and then there's like, what medium are you mixing your oil with? That would be Galkyd gel. So basically alkyd resins, love them. What inspired you to do art and why do you love it? I don't think anything really inspired me to do art. I've always made art. I don't remember a point in my life where I just started making art. I just remember always drawing and painting, and it's just who I was. What's the favorite piece you ever made and why is it special? This is a tough one. I can't choose one because there's 3 that are my favorite. So I would say the first one is Flow with the River, because this is the painting that started my entire water series. Like, all of the paintings I created after it was born from this one. And it was a very special piece to me because I was kind of finding my place in the world, finally like gathering the courage to actually pursue art as a career and really throw myself into this wholeheartedly, like take the risk. And Flow with the River was kind of like my metaphor to just go with the flow and not try to force things, and just make a lot of work to let my inspiration guide me and let it be a natural process. Instead of just trying to force ideas out of my head, I would try to focus on things that were interesting to me. Just flow with the river. So that's probably my favorite, but I also really love Fluid and Barriers because they were like the most challenging paintings I've ever worked on. They took a very long time, and I do have very strong emotional attachments to them. They're very, very special to me. What are your biggest art influences? So when I was a kid, I would say Bob Ross was a really, really huge influence for me, and he was just what jump-started such a big progression in my work when I was painting. And so that's kind of how I got into landscapes. I was like 7 years old and I was super into landscapes, and it was all thanks to Bob Ross. I have to sneeze. There's more. I lost it. What did you learn from being a full-time artist? I think the biggest lesson for me was to develop positive habits. Basically, like psychologically tricking myself into being more productive. I learned that it's important to be grateful for every single day. Just for the smallest things you possibly can, you need to be grateful, and it's gonna make you so much happier. And it's gonna make producing art so much easier. I also learned that no one is going to magically give you success. Nobody is going to magically hand you luck or an art career. You have to bust your butt, and you have to accept the fact that it's not going to happen overnight, and there's going to be hardships along the way. There's no elevator to success. you gotta take the stairs. What do your family and friends think about you being an artist? My family is supportive. My real friends are supportive. I wasn't always like that though. It took having to prove some people wrong that this is possible, and that's when the support really came. But for a while there, I was on my own, just like railing against the army. Was becoming an artist your childhood dream? If not, what is? Yes, it actually was. The life I'm living now is the life I have always wanted to live. Absolutely, I've always wanted to be an artist. What advice can you give to people who want to be more artistic or creative? Go outside, be in nature, give yourself downtime, read books about creativity, make friends with and hang out with people who are also creative, whether they're photographers, musicians, writers. A lot of times it's really good to bounce ideas off other people who are really creative. Don't worry about what people are going to think about you. Don't be so hard on yourself. Were you supported to pursue art as a child? I was supported to make art. I wouldn't say that I was heavily supported to actually pursue it as a career. This is why this is called the starving artist tag, because everybody expects you to fail. Because the second you tell somebody, I want to be a musician, I want to be an artist, I want to be a writer, they're immediately like, okay, that's great, pat on the head, you know? So yeah, I was supported to make art. People always responded positively to my work, but I wasn't supported to pursue it as a career in the way that I would have hoped to be supported. Do you make money off your art? I certainly do. What do you want to improve on and aspire to be with your future art? I want to produce work faster, more efficiently, make art that, you know, is completely accurate, but just dismantles itself so much more when you look closely to it. What feelings do we try to express in our art? A really deep love for nature and the earth, and that's what inspires a lot of my work. And most of the feelings that I portray in my work is inner peace and relaxation. What is your favorite thing to paint and why? Water, the female form, everything involving nature basically. What's the strangest thing you've painted? One of my very, very early oil paintings from like 2007 or 2008 when I was still in high school. This painting was called Sleep Paralysis, and it's because I used to have like really frequent ongoing sleep paralysis, and it's a really weird condition where you're like paralyzed completely. Your body's totally asleep but your mind isn't, but you're also like drifting off into REM while fully conscious, so you kind of shift into a lucid dream. Some people think you're going out of body, and it feels like it. It feels like you're floating out of your body, but like that crap would just happen to me so often, and I would like phase in and out of things. I would hear things like hallucinations of like voices and different sounds happening all around me, and I would just end up in all these different locations. So I made a painting called Sleep Paralysis, and that was basically a whole bunch of stuff mashed together because that's what it would feel like. It's like you're just getting swirled into this unknown. I guess that's kind of the strangest thing I've ever painted. I don't know. Have you ever been hung up after you started a commission, and how did you handle it? Yes, actually. I just like slowly pushed through it and took time off of it and then came back to it and really pushed through. But normally I don't get hung up on commissions because they're typically not that large, and this painting was huge, so I was just like losing my mind. But do you admit that paint smells good? Yes, oil paint smells good. I don't like the smell of any other paint except for oil paint. What would you tell your younger self? Don't skip class. Get on YouTube the year it comes out. I would also tell her that everything is going to be okay. Just chill out. It's gonna be fine. So that is the starving artist tag. I'm gonna leave the questions in the description along with the links to the other girls I've collaborated with, so please go ahead and check them out. Give them some support. I tag you guys, any artists that are on YouTube who watch my videos or are considering making videos. This would be a great way to introduce yourself. So I would love to see what you guys answer for these questions. And if you do make this tag video, leave it in the comments in the description. I would love to see it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.